Hi guys, today we're going to tackle a fun printing project. If you have kids or babysit or have kids that you work with, this is an especially fun DIY project to get them involved in. We're going to be making nature prints with leaves and foliage found in your own backyard, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is create your printing plate. Now this is a step you need to do the day before you actually want to do your printing project. You need a cookie sheet with sides, often referred to as a jelly roll pan. I'm using a half size, which is roughly 11 by 14, and in that we're going to create a gelatin mixture. We've all had finger jello. This is sort of like finger jello times 10. The reason we're doing a gelatin plate is because it creates this really soft, pliable surface, so that when you're putting down leaves or other objects and then pressing the paper on top of it, you're going to get all of this great detail, from the veining of the leaves to the shapes of the stems to the outline of the foliage. To create your plate, you're going to take cool water, sprinkle on top of that the contents of about 6 packages of unflavored gelatin. Be certain that it's not flavored and sweetened gelatin. You want the unflavored variety. While the gelatin is softening in the cool water, go ahead and heat up the rest of your water almost to the boiling point. Once it's hot, go ahead and combine it with the cool water and the gelatin. Whisk it together for about 3 to 5 minutes until it's well combined. Then gently and slowly pour it into your cookie sheet. Put this in the refrigerator and allow it to set overnight. Once your gelatin is completely set, we're ready to start printing. Now there are a few things that you're going to need from the craft store. One is printing ink. You want to make sure it's water-based for easy cleanup. You're going to need a brayer, which is kind of like a miniature paint roller, and then you're going to need a surface to roll your ink out onto. I'm using a metal platen plate, but you can just as easily use a flat piece of cardboard or even a paper plate. Squeeze a little bit of paint out onto your surface, and then begin rolling it slowly back and forth with the brayer. You just want to make sure that the roller is completely covered. Then go ahead and roll that out onto the surface of the gelatin printing plate. You want to do it firmly, but don't press so hard that you break the surface of the gelatin. Once the surface of the plate is completely covered, now is the time to go ahead and lay down some flat leaves and foliage. Lay them out in a nice configuration, and then we're going to take our first sheet of paper to lay over the top. I'm using a thin copyweight paper. I found that the thin paper actually makes a better impression than thicker paper. Lay it down, hold it firmly with one hand so it doesn't shift around on the surface, and then gently massage the back of the paper with your other hand so that the paper comes in firm contact with the ink and you get a good impression. And then for the moment of truth, slowly and gently pull that first piece of paper up. Your first print is basically going to be a silhouette of all of those leaves that you laid down on the plate. Go ahead, set that sheet of paper aside on a flat surface to dry, and now we're going to peel the leaves up off the surface of the gelatin. It's usually easy to do this by the stem. Set them aside, and then we're going to lay a second sheet of paper down. Now your second impression is going to be a little bit lighter than the first print, but it's going to be more detailed. You're going to see some of the veining in the leaves. You're going to get some really beautiful nature prints this way. You might want to put them on the fridge. Some will even be pretty enough you want to frame them, and they could even make some great gifts. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll give this project a try, and we'll see you next time for another great DIY.